Hey guys, I wanted to do another video for you guys doing an OBS tutorial, the first to the Itsy Bitsy channel. So I want to discuss the settings that I use, the content that I record, the audio, just like more of a general spectrum of things of how you guys could start using OBS Studio for yourselves, and how you could manipulate the settings that are fit for you, and I'll go over all of those things for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's dive right into this. I'm very excited to do the first ever recorded through OBS Studio tutorial for you guys, and we'll see how it goes. Here we have a scene set up that I have right here under scenes, and then I just have two sources here: display capture and Black Yeti. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of a walkthrough of what you should be looking for and kind of customizing settings pertaining to what you guys are doing. So especially for live streaming, those that are on Twitch, and going through that. So to start off with, this looks like a lot. There's a lot of segments that are just everywhere. So first thing is first. When you open up OBS Studio, it will not look like this. It will look very, very different. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go over here under your scenes, and these are going to be the main sources from which you change your content through. So I was using the full cam, which was my C920 recording just a little while ago. So that was a different scene. Now I switched to recording OBS. That way you guys could see everything on screen that I am seeing and showing you guys. So when you want to add a scene, you hit the little plus sign, you go over here and you name it whatever you wish, you hit OK, and it'll be recorded in this column here. Once you have created your name under scene, the next thing to do is sources, and it will be all empty. So again, if you want to add, and this goes for add or subtract, if you guys already have something in sources or scenes that you want to get rid of, out of these two columns, just hit the minus sign and it will remove it. So if you want to hit plus, this gives you the full spectrum of all the different things that you could add into OBS Studio, such as your microphones, that would be an audio input, browser sources for alert notifications, display capture, which is exactly what you're looking at. I'm sharing my display through OBS and it's outputting it to you guys. An image, if you have a graphic or a PNG that you want to put into stream, especially graphics and graphic design elements, cam boxes and such. I export them in PNG format, and then I would have to hit image. It comes up in the PC, and I would search for that image and then import it into the stream. So that's how that would work. We got media sources, we got scenes. Obviously, we have text. If you guys just want to see here, type. And in here you could change the font to whatever you want. You could customize it or however you want, right? You could even choose color, right? You could choose color here. So we'll just there, boom, right? And that'll show up in your main window here. And you just have to resize it. Bam, you have text in here. We're not going to keep that, so we're just going to subtract it from the scene. But that's how pretty much anything in the sources, that is how you would do it. Video capture would be if you're importing titles to play games with. So you have your game up on one monitor, and in OBS you would hit the plus sign and video capture, and that's how you guys see the game footage. That is the proper way to import the game footage into OBS. Those are a few of the sources settings there. So right now I just have the microphone and my display capture because I just want to share this window with you guys, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So that is the scenes and sources and that's pretty much the backbone to how OBS works, the things that you see and don't see, and the things you import and do not import. Next, from here, I probably want to take you guys to the settings tab itself. So when you hit settings right over here, you have this window that pops up, and we have a few tabs under here. I'm only going to be covering a few of these because I have a feeling that this series is going to be a 2 or 3 part series overall, so I might just cover general and output and maybe video in this one, and then in another video we could discuss other things. So in general, obviously you have basic things like English. You could set your color theme. That's all preference. Default is they made it recently the dark theme, which you see here. Really pleasing to the eye. I have pretty much everything unticked except a few things. I believe all of these things are by default. I have not really messed with this page a whole lot at all. Not too much to that page. Let's move on to output. This is going to be the majority of what you guys see, the quality output through Twitch. These are the exact settings that I use for gaming. So on a day-to-day basis, what you guys see are going to be a combination of all of these. So under streaming here, you have audio tracks. You could select how many you have. If you really know what you're doing and want to splice audio tracks later in post production and editing for YouTube videos, let's say, you could select how many audio tracks you would like to record and stream with. But for the most part, most people need 1, maybe 2, and don't worry about that too much. Moving on to the encoder. I don't know if it'll let me drop this down, but it's not, which is interesting. Encoder settings are going to be what you are going to capture your game footage with. So whether your game footage, your streaming footage, whatever it is, or I should say recording footage, whatever that is, you are going to use that to record with. Right now I'm using the NVIDIA NVENC H264 New. That came with, I believe, OBS 24. That pretty much incorporated a whole new lineup of encoding techniques, some that paired with NVIDIA GeForce cards, and what they did is pretty much with the 20 series cards. So I believe it started with the 1660, and then the 2060, 2070, 2080, and 80 Ti. Pretty much any of the new series cards, you could use processing chip on the graphics card and take a toll off of your CPU. So the whole purpose behind the NVIDIA NVENC H264 was to alleviate CPU toll and to really utilize the processing power of the new graphics cards. This is all that I use. I use this one because I do find that it is the best quality, and there's a lot of comparison videos. This is the most new method here that they've incorporated into OBS Studio. This is pretty much the backbone, the staple behind the quality. You can stream CPU and encode with it with that chip and processor, and it's amazing. But what I have found is that this has been said to be comparable to medium settings in CPU streams settings if you were to not use this. I did come across one that GeForce put out, that NVIDIA put out, a specific OBS settings tutorial, and all the settings that you see right here are going to be from that video, and I could link that video down below, that way you guys could see it as well. But all of these settings, apart from bitrate, which we'll get to in a little bit, are going to be directly from that video, and I have not needed anything else. So moving on down, enforce streaming service encoder settings, have that ticked off. The rate control, this pretty much ensures that the bit rate that you set right here is going to either remain constant or do different things for you. CBR stands for constant bit rate. For streaming purposes, the best preset that you are going to need, it's going to ensure quality big time. So whatever number that you have set for, you know, internet usage, your bit rate, your recording quality, bit rate, the constant bit rate will try to, as much as possible, match this number right here for your streams and output. So honestly, I have not even looked at any of the CQP, VBR, and lossless. I have not looked into that at all. I have only stuck with CBR, and it has only done really, really well for me. So to be honest, I'm not even familiar with all these other three. I just know that CBR is literally what I need for daily streams and recording, so that is what I stick with. Moving on down to bitrate, this comes down to internet that you guys have in your home. Depending on your plan, this is going to vary greatly. This also works from upload speeds. The download speeds are not going to matter too much when you're looking at the bitrate. What you are doing with streaming is you are uploading your content through OBS to the Twitch servers or to your Twitch channel, and that is outputting it, right? So the thing that matters most in your streaming internet, like combined, when you're looking at streaming and you're looking at internet, is your upload speed. So does your plan have 10 meg upload? Does your plan have a gig upload? My plan, I pay for a gig download speed, and then my upload is going to be anywhere from 35 to 45. So that is more than enough to compensate for having a higher bit rate. If you guys have 10 megs or less household internet, this number is going to be very dependent on the video preset that you set here, your resolution, and your internet. So this I will cover in just a little bit, but your bitrate, I'm covering this for a little bit because it's really good to know. So a lot of 720p streams, 1080p streams are going to vary or need more bitrate the more pixels you're trying to push in your stream. So Twitch caps the bitrate for affiliates at 6,000. So having it set at 6,000, as long as your upload on your internet plan supports it, that's going to be totally fine. A lot of the baseline bitrate is going to be anywhere from 3,000 to like 4,500 is going to be a really good middle ground for you guys, but you will have to be pushing out around 720p, 60 FPS, 30 FPS, somewhere around there to really ensure that quality of the sustained stream. 1080p requires a little bit more than 6,000 bit rate. You could definitely get away with it. It just gets a little bit pixelated and blurry, especially if you're playing a high action and movement game. I set mine to 8,000. Like I said, my upload speed is 45 megs, so I have no issue with that whatsoever. Even though I do have to say I have noticed a little bump in quality, a slight little bump in quality from having it set at 6,000 to 8,000. This has kind of been my trial period. I do see a little bump in quality, less pixelization, and just a little bit more robust capture quality while I live stream. Especially watching the VODs, I have noticed that switching to 8 instead of 6 is doing pretty well for me right now. So you know, constant bit rate really helps with that. I wanted to overcompensate, bump it up to 8K bit rate, and do some testing with it. So far so good there. Again, totally dependent on your upload speed. And I will also share on screen right now with you guys the Twitch page suggesting bitrate and resolutions for streams. Moving down to keyframe intervals, Twitch standard is 2. So all the articles that I've read, all the YouTube videos that I've seen have said that the Twitch standard, and actually Twitch itself says that the keyframe intervals is 2. Preset quality is going to literally ensure the entire quality overall coming out from OBS. So you have max quality, quality, then it moves down to performance, and then all the different variants of performance here. For me, I always want to ensure quality, and I'm sure it runs under max. OBS runs differently under max performance, low latency. I have not even tried any of the latency modes or even the max performance. I have just focused primarily on pumping out as high of quality streams as I can, and obviously that ensures that as well. Also highly recommended across the interwebs is keeping the preset at max quality. The profile here ensures that the settings and OBS running on your computer is set to the profile high. You could do baseline, main, or high here. High is really good just because it gives you that extra little edge of telling your PC, hey, we're doing this right now, we're streaming, we're outputting video, all that stuff, and it just keeps the PC targeted and focused on OBS, what it's doing, what it's capturing, and those settings that you have set, that the computer focuses on that. Look ahead is something that, well, there you go. Dynamic B-frames. That is a feature with the new 20 series card. So once you have enabled the new NVENC encoder, but a lot of people, a lot of articles have said to keep look ahead off. It bogs down the computer a little bit. However, psycho-visual tuning, again, if you hover over it, it gives you a little explanation. Definitely have this one ticked on, and it just says enables encoder settings that optimize the use of bitrate for increased visual quality. So literally bitrate and the encoder with your preset is literally what psycho visual tuning is all about. It ensures that visual quality like I just said. So definitely have this one ticked on. Moving down the GPU, depending on how many graphics cards you have installed in your PC, this is going to pertain to how many you have active. If you just have the one, set it over here. Don't worry about this. If you have especially multi-purpose things that you want your dual graphics cards to do, you could set it to 2, and then go from there. I know that you could even have one do something totally different than the other if you have 2 different cards installed. Just keep it at 0. Again, that is a standard for just general OBS settings. And max B frames is another, just like the keyframe intervals here, is another just all across the board a baseline for what you should have. I'm not sure exactly what goes into these numbers. I know that especially, I believe it's B frames. Again, depending on how quick graphically the game that you're playing, if you have it set higher, it's going to be really struggling to capture that quality. You could bump this up a little bit. I do believe it's the B frames. If you're playing a slow game, if it's just like maybe a top-down view of just maps and characters and that sort of stuff, you could bump this up and try to get a bump in quality as well. But for the most part, this is a standard to keep it at 2. So that right there, I know I went on a long time with that, but that is literally the streaming tab here. Recording audio replay, we get to that in a different video, but for streaming purposes, this right here, you heard it here first from Itsy Bitsy directly. These are my settings. This is what I have for my streams, and here is finally the tutorial. Boom. So one thing I wanted to cover lastly is the video here, and this is going to be important. Base canvas resolution is going to be whatever resolution your monitors are at. So I know all 3 of my monitors, the 224-inch and the 127-inch monitor that I have, are going to be all 1920 by 1080. If you have a 2K monitor, a 4K monitor, make sure you do select that proper resolution in here. It will throw the rest of your OBS off and make things start looking weird if you don't have some of these numbers in correctly. So make sure you have the proper canvas base resolution of your monitor in this space here. So mine's 1080, boom. I have it at 1080. Output scaled resolution, this right here is going to be very, very important. The output res is going to be the resolution that you are going to be streaming in. So if you want to be streaming in 1080 on Twitch, 720 at 60, these are going to be the numbers that you're going to be looking in this field right here. So output res is literally what you want to be recording / streaming to. Right now I am doing a tutorial. There's no games involved, so I am outputting in 1920 by 1080, which is matching the base canvas resolution. I have been streaming in 1600 by 900, and I would type that into this field. There's also, you would find, I believe it's 1280 by 720 is the resolution for 720p streams. So find that number, have that here. That is going to be what people are going to see your stream in when they are watching your live streams. Downscale filter, I can't drop any of these down, which is really, really sad. But right here you see Lanco's sharpened scaling 36 samples. That is the highest. There's only about 3 different drop down options. This is going to be the highest one. Make sure you do choose Lanco's sharpened 36 samplings. It's going to ensure again, it's just that extra little bump in quality, and it's the highest preset that you can in here, so obviously do that. Moving on down to the FPS, depending on your PC specs, depending on what your computer can handle. Like I said, the output resolution here is going to impact that drastically as well. So if you have something that you know is not going to handle even 60 FPS, this is where you would change your FPS settings. So common FPS values is what you want to have ticked on here. Like you see, there's a drop down option here. Drop that down, common FPS values, and then after that you want to drop this menu down here and a whole bunch of numbers will show up. The 2 most common ones are going to be 30 FPS and 60 FPS. 60 FPS is pretty much just ensured smoothness overall, less choppy, and it looks way, way better. I mean, it's literally double 30 FPS, so you know, that's saying something. But if your rig cannot handle, you know, let's say 1080 at 60 FPS, drop this number here to 720, drop this number down here to 30, and it takes a lot of toll off of your PC or gaming rig, whatever you're streaming with, and whether you're using an internal capture card, an external capture card, it doesn't matter. This number here and this number here will drastically impact the performance of your PC and recording quality. So just wanted to cover all of that with you guys. Hopefully that made sense. And that is pretty much the general. Under stream, you obviously select the service Twitch, or you know, in this case you could select a mixer, Facebook, but you could select the server, keep it on auto. I've been keeping it on auto, or just find a city that is closest to you and then select that. I was running Denver, Colorado. Obviously, it's only an hour and a half away from where I live, so I was trying that out. Wasn't too bad. I do find that auto is still the best for me. And then right here, before it says disconnect account, it says connect account, and that you could literally connect your Twitch account to OBS, and I'll tell you why that is so important. So after you have done that, so I covered general, stream, output, and video. A combination of everything that you saw me cover in this video will ensure really, really good quality for your Twitch streaming channel, and that is that. So after we get out of that menu, now we see the rest of this. So here's the thing that I was saying before, you guys. So the OBS version 24 comes in with certain windows enabled. So you know, this ground control, this my alert notifications, the stream information, the stats. Some of these things are not going to be displayed in vanilla OBS version 24 when you first download it and open it up. I believe it's under View and Docs. You could click and unclick or check or uncheck what you want to see as far as the different windows enabled. All of these windows that you see here on screen are going to be drag and drop and rescale for every single thing. This is what makes OBS Studio literally super, super amazing and great at what it does. So you could literally check or uncheck any of the windows that you see here, and even external ones. This ground control is from Stream Elements. This is the alert notifications that I have. All you have to do is copy and paste the URL, and a separate pop-out window will pop out just like this, right? And all you have to do is bam. And I mean, all of this is literally sizable. And you know, any window, see, any window is literally sized, able to be sized to however you feel. So if you want your display window to be literally taking up majority of the screen, you get rid of some of these windows here. And the reason why you integrated and connected your Twitch channel earlier, like I showed you, to OBS Studio, is I have built-in chat while I stream right in this window. I have no other chat boxes open. I literally have my chat window here connected to Twitch. So when I'm playing a game on my main monitor and I'm reading chat, it is all just right here. So I have all of my chat settings, everything, just like you would when you log into your Twitch account online and through a web browser. That is literally it. So this is the only chat window I use. Obviously, I have my alert notifications. Like I said, the power of the new OBS version 24 is they integrated. You could dock any window, any source into your user interface as a whole. So that is something that I know Slobs doesn't have, and that every time I have used Slobs, I miss. Especially using Twitch stats and stream information. You could change your title, your live notifications, your category, all of your tags. You could literally change your title and game on the fly in this window under stream information. So again, that would be view, docs, and stream information right here. So you could enable that, disable that. If you want less things on the screen, you could have those. If you want more things on the screen, you could have those. One of my favorite windows on here is Twitch stats, and it literally is tells me the amount of people I have watching, the time that I've been live, how many clips have been made, and obviously all of the other streaming information. I also have these stats over here that tell me, you know, CPU usage, my FPS output. If I start dropping frames, that's going to be a really, really big thing. Even if I have rendering lag or encoding lag, that is all going to be showing up here. Right now I have 0 and my render frame time is 0.5. Kind of rule of thumb is anything in 1.0 or maybe 1.2 or under is going to be really, really good. And most of the time, depending on how you have everything integrated and or set up, I should say, in your OBS Studio, on most days this is 0.8, 0.9, and if I'm streaming in 1080, it might be 1.1. But really, really good information to have all right here. I'm recording right now through my OBS Studio, so I could stop recording if I want to, but it tells me my disk space and everything available, memory usage. So really, really powerful here as far as all the information that you would need to have and you would kind of want to have if you are really anal about, you know, keeping as many numbers, you know, keeping track of as many numbers as you can while you're live streaming, recording, doing all those things. Obviously, you have your audio mixer right here. Depending on how many inputs and everything you have, capture cards and all that stuff, they will show up over here. So in my main live scene here, it shows up as my microphone, gaming audio, and then also my HD60 Pro will show up when that's activated as well. That's something that's, you know, just pretty standard all across the board, but you know, you have multiple things to do with that the more you add here. And that, I believe, is a pretty much well-rounded first time OBS tutorial that I wanted to give you guys. I wanted to introduce you to what I use, why I use it. Like I said, one of the most amazing things that I love about just OBS 24 and the recent features they have been incorporating into this is the ability to customize windows, custom size everything to exactly how you like it, and keep track of so many different numbers and information and on the fly integrated you know, streaming categories and everything, all on one screen. And that to me is exactly what I've been, you know, looking to. You know, Slobs is an amazing program. Streamlabs OBS Slobs is an amazing program to record with. It is a little bit more on the beginner side. So, you know, if you guys wanted a little bit more, you know, wanted a little bit more info about what your PC is doing and how it's behaving during live streams, and that sort of thing, I always know what my CPU usage is, my FPS, like I said, all the lag, and everything, and that helps me make the streams better, helps me keep an eye on my own PC and what it's doing and how it's reacting. That is pretty much it. I'm sorry this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I'm going to switch back here and just want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video. I know it was a longer tutorial video, but however, I wanted to show you guys a little bit more in-depth look of exactly from what I see through to you guys using OBS, of this is exactly the screen that I use and that I look at day in, day out. This is what I have found to be really streamlined and the best setup for me. And kind of what you guys could, you know, expect to see and do if you choose to decide to use OBS Studio. So it's not sponsored or anything. I know I've said OBS Studio so many times, but really I do find it to be a really amazing program and really easy to use once you are a little bit more familiar with looking at, you know, a few more windows than you're used to with, you know, Streamlabs OBS. It's just a little bit different pacing and a little bit more involved, but I do find it simpler and easier, more efficient in the long run. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate every single person supporting these videos, supporting YouTube, my YouTube channel, and hopefully this helped you guys in some way. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what things you want to see me do tutorials on for future videos and that sort of stuff. I hope that it helped at least one person out there, your streamer, recorder, whatever it is. And I just want to say thank you. Huge shout out to you guys as my audience. I could not be doing this without you guys. So thank you. I appreciate it. Leave a subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I do go live every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on Twitch. You could check that out right here and catch me on a live stream. If you guys come across this video and want to chat it up and say hi when I'm live, please do so when I am live throughout the week. I will be happy to chat it up with you guys about videos or just different things, getting to know you. So thank you, appreciate it. Until next video, peace out, guys.